So a child starting primary school this September 2026 will enter the workforce somewhere around 2035. So Goldman Sachs published data in 2025 showing that unemployment among 20 to 30-year-olds in tech-exposed occupations had risen by almost 3 percentage points in just 1 year. UK tech graduate roles last year fell 46% in 12 months, and the big four accounting firms cut graduate hiring between 18 and 29%. What's interesting about this is that AI isn't replacing experienced and expensive professionals first, it's removing the bottom rungs of the career ladder, the entry-level roles that have always been how young people learn to do the job. The traditional path, study hard, get a degree, land a good graduate job and work your way up, is under real structural pressure. So this morning we will be talking about your child in 2035 and what skills will really matter. There is a version of future-ready education that sounds appealing or maybe terrifying, but is actually a mistake. And it goes something like this. Facts don't matter anymore because children can look everything up. What matters now actually is just creativity, collaboration and communication. And I've got a lot of sympathy for the second part. Those skills do matter enormously, but the idea that knowledge can be skipped is a serious error. Skills like communication and collaboration and critical and creative thinking are not a substitute for knowledge. Skills grow out of knowledge. A child cannot exercise judgment about things they don't understand. The NFER, or the National Foundation for Educational Research, put together something called the Skills Imperative 2035, a 5-year research program from the UK funded by the Nuffield Foundation, modelling the labour market a decade from now. And it's explicit about this. They identify 6 essential employment skills for 2035, and they are collaboration and communication and creative thinking, but also information literacy, organising and planning, and problem solving. But they're very clear that these are transferable skills built on top of subject knowledge, not instead of it. The World Economic Forum report puts it the same way. Analytical thinking and creative thinking are the top skills for 2030, but both require a strong knowledge base to operate from. Analytical thinking without knowledge is just guesswork. Which skills does the evidence say that AI genuinely cannot replace? Stanford, McKinsey, and Microsoft research are all independently converging on 4 fundamental human capabilities. So superpower number 1, emotional intelligence. The ability to read how someone is feeling, to build genuine trust over time, and to offer empathy that actually means something when the stakes are high. Now, AI can produce some very empathetic sounding text, but in a moment that truly matters, a bereavement, a diagnosis, a child in crisis, people know the difference between a simulation and a human being who genuinely cares. So mental health counsellors score 98% for being AI resistant. School counsellors 96%, teachers 89%. Superpower number 2, creative vision. Creative vision is something more than just being good at art or coming up with ideas. It's the ability to originate meaning, to understand why a story resonates in one cultural context and falls flat in another, to create something that genuinely moves people rather than just impresses them. AI is very good, as we know, at generating variations of existing work at remarkable speed, but what it can't do is originate. It's got no lived experience, no history, it has no cultural intuition, it has no sense of why something matters. And that's why creative directors sit at 85% AI resistant in the research, and performing artists sit at 91% AI resistance. Superpower 3 is ethical judgment. the ability to reason carefully in genuinely ambiguous situations where values conflict and there's no clean answer. And what makes this irreducibly human isn't just the reasoning itself, but the accountability that comes with it. Societies want a human being who can be held responsible for that decision. So that's why trial lawyers, senior leaders, and AI governance specialists all sit above 80% resistance in the research. One of the reasons ethical judgment matters even more in an AI world is that AI tends to be dangerously agreeable. It tells you what you want to hear rather than challenging you. But a child who hasn't developed the knowledge, values, and confidence to push back isn't really evaluating AI at all, they're just trusting it. Superpower number 4, physical dexterity in unpredictable environments is one that tends to surprise parents most. So current robotics cannot navigate a narrow and shallow crawl space. It can't improvise when a building's wiring doesn't match the blueprints. It can't perform surgery when an unexpected complication arises mid-procedure. Electricians score 95% on the AI resistance scale. The UK needs nearly 300,000 additional construction and trade workers over the next 5 years, according to the Construction Industry Training Board. Communication deserves its own moment here. So the World Economic Forum research is unambiguous. The ability to communicate, to influence, and to present verbally, in writing, and visually will be one of the defining capabilities of the 2035 workforce. These capabilities that I've been talking about, how do you actually develop them? Judgment, communication, creative thinking, ethical reasoning, none of these develop by sitting at a desk and reading about them. They're built through practice, specifically through encountering real problems, making real decisions, and learning from what happens, even if it goes wrong. A genuine project is not simply a piece of work with a creative title. It poses a real question or problem that doesn't have a pre-packaged answer. It requires drawing on knowledge from more than one subject, but essentially a solution that has to stand up to scrutiny from a real audience. And it requires collaboration, working with others, managing disagreement, and sharing the credit, assuming all goes well. Let me give you a concrete example. Imagine a group of Year 5 children given this challenge. Your school has a small budget to improve one area of the local community. Research the options, consult people who'd be affected, make a case, and present your recommendation to a panel of adults. That requires knowledge. Evaluate different sources and decide which ones to trust. That's information literacy. Work with others who have different ideas. That's collaboration. Construct an argument and present it to a real audience. That's communication. And respond to questions that the children have not prepared for. Now that requires judgment. So this isn't a departure from academic learning. It's academic learning applied to something real. You may have heard the idea of the T-shaped career. Deep expertise and broad general knowledge across other areas, but it's no longer sufficient on its own. So the World Economic Forum again predicts that 40% of core skills will need to change every 5 years from now on. A single area of deep expertise can become disrupted before a career is even halfway through. The research now points towards is that of a comb-shaped career. So a comb-shaped career has multiple areas of genuine depth. Each tooth of the comb is connected by a broad base of transferable human capabilities. And the ingredient that holds it all together, well, this is the one more thing, a thread that runs through every capability that I've discussed this morning. Professor Michael Fraser has spent decades studying what distinguishes people who thrive, and his concept is called personal initiative. So personal initiative is self-starting, proactive behavior that overcomes barriers to achieve a goal. You set your own goals, you're future-oriented, and you persist through obstacles rather than stopping at the first difficulty. Personal initiative isn't a personality trait that you are born with. It's a behavior. And if it's a behavior, it means it can be developed. What does future ready actually mean for a child at school today? It means a child with deep, secure knowledge, because without that base, all other capabilities are hollow. It means a child who can exercise judgment, communicate with clarity and confidence, think creatively and critically, and it means a child who's had real experience of turning knowledge into action through projects with genuine stakes, real audiences, and real consequences. The children who will thrive in 2035 are not the ones who simply know the most facts or use AI most fluently. They are the ones who bring genuine human depth to what they do and who show up, take initiative, and keep going when things get difficult. Those qualities are not accidents. They're built through the right combination of knowledge, skill, and real experience.